My beloved child, there is a silence around you that many people do not understand, yet one heart has been listening to that silence more carefully than you know. Before anything else, do not skip, because something huge is waiting for you, and the words you are about to hear carry a depth that almost remained hidden. There are moments when a soul cannot continue pretending that feelings are ordinary, and this is one of those moments. Someone connected to you in a way deeper than appearances has recently spoken from a place they do not often allow anyone to see. A thought about commitment was spoken, but it was not casual. It was not light. It came with weight, with emotion, with hesitation, and with a pause so long that even the people around them noticed that something serious had entered their heart. They were asked a simple question, yet their answer came slowly, as if every word had to pass through memories before it could be released. And what they shared was not expected. They said that commitment is not only about staying when everything feels easy. They said commitment becomes real when someone continues feeling pulled toward one person even while life becomes complicated, even while distance creates confusion, even while time tests patience. And when they said that, your presence was already inside their thoughts, though your name may not have been spoken aloud. Stay till the end, because something rare is unfolding, and every sentence matters now more than before. There are conversations that disappear after they happen, but this one stayed alive in their heart long after it ended. They returned to those same words later, alone, replaying what they had admitted, because once truth begins to rise, it becomes difficult to push it back down. What moved everyone was not only what they said, but how their voice changed while saying it. Their confidence faded into softness. Their eyes lowered. Their usual calm disappeared for a moment. It was the kind of moment that makes people nearby suddenly become quiet because they realize they are hearing something genuine. And then another sentence came, quieter than the first, but stronger. They said that some people enter your life and make you think differently about forever. Not because they demand anything, not because they force attention, but because their presence changes what commitment even means. That sentence did not come from imagination. It came from a place built slowly over time. Do not skip, because something huge is waiting for you. The heart you have wondered about has been carrying deeper thoughts than anyone expected. While others were speaking lightly, this person was speaking carefully, because they know commitment is not a word to throw around without meaning. They know promises matter. They know emotional truth cannot be spoken casually once it becomes real. And what makes this moment powerful is that they were not trying to impress anyone. There was no performance in their voice. No dramatic intention. Just honesty arriving when they least expected it. Sometimes the strongest feelings appear in ordinary conversations, when defenses are low and truth suddenly escapes. There is something else you need to hear carefully. After that conversation ended, they did not move on quickly. The words remained with them. They became quieter than usual. Their thoughts returned again and again to the same emotional space. It was as if speaking honestly opened a door they had tried to keep closed. Something about your energy has created reflection inside them. Even if they have not said everything directly, your impact has already entered places they cannot deny. A person does not speak deeply about commitment unless something inside them has already begun shifting. Stay till the end, because the next part of this unfolding carries even more weight. There is a reason certain feelings rise only after long silence. Some truths wait because they need courage. Some emotions remain hidden because once spoken, life no longer feels the same. And now courage is slowly beginning to appear. They have been thinking about what loyalty really means, about who remains in mind when the world becomes noisy, about why certain faces return during quiet hours. This is not random. This is not passing attention. This is inner movement, and inner movement always comes before visible change. Do not skip. Something huge is waiting for you, because what began as a thought is becoming something stronger than they expected. Even they are surprised by how serious their own heart has become. The deepest part is this: they are beginning to understand that commitment is not only a future decision. Sometimes commitment begins the moment someone realizes that one presence continues to matter even in silence, even in distance, even when nothing obvious is happening. And right now, whether you see it yet or not, that realization is already growing. But listen carefully, because what happened after that conversation carries even more meaning than the words themselves. When the room became quiet and everyone moved on, that person did not move on inside. Their expression changed in a way that only someone very observant would notice. It was as if they had revealed more than they intended, and suddenly they became aware that a hidden truth had reached the surface. Do not skip, because something huge is waiting for you. There are moments when someone speaks from the heart and then realizes those words cannot be taken back. That is exactly where they stood. Their thoughts returned again and again to what they had admitted about commitment, and every time they replayed it, one presence remained connected to that thought. Yours. They began questioning why your memory appears during serious moments, why your energy arrives when future decisions enter their mind, why the idea of loyalty suddenly feels personal instead of distant. These are not ordinary reflections. This is the kind of inner shift that happens only when feelings have grown beyond what someone planned to allow. Stay till the end, because the next truth explains why their silence has become heavier recently. They are not silent because nothing is happening. They are silent because too much is happening inside at once. Some people become quieter when emotions become stronger, because they fear saying too much before they fully understand what they feel. And recently, they understood something unexpected. Commitment, to them, stopped being a distant concept and became connected to one specific emotional image they could not ignore. That image kept returning during ordinary moments. While walking, while sitting alone, while pretending to focus on other things. The heart often repeats what the mind tries to postpone. There was one moment nobody around them noticed deeply enough. They looked away in the middle of another conversation, and for a few seconds they became completely distant, lost inside a thought they did not explain. But inside that pause, they were remembering something connected to you. A feeling, a conversation, an impression that stayed longer than expected. Do not skip. Something huge is waiting for you, because what they shared next came even softer than before. They admitted that true commitment cannot be forced, because when it is real, it arrives quietly and keeps returning until it becomes impossible to deny. That sentence came from experience forming inside them right now. And the reason those words moved everyone was simple: it sounded personal. It sounded like someone no longer speaking in theory, but from a place already touched by emotion. Even the way they protected that sentence revealed how carefully they were trying not to reveal everything at once. Stay till the end, because the strongest realization has not even reached its full shape yet. There is still something forming inside them that even they cannot fully explain. A person can hide direct feelings, but they cannot hide the way their voice changes when speaking about something their heart has already chosen to protect. Recently they have been noticing little details they ignored before: the way certain memories return suddenly, the way your presence continues to feel meaningful even during unrelated moments, the way future thoughts seem incomplete without an emotional answer they have not yet spoken aloud. This is why their idea of commitment became emotional instead of distant. This is why their words carried weight. This is why their silence afterward became deeper than usual. Do not skip, because something huge is waiting for you. Sometimes the strongest truth begins with one sentence spoken almost accidentally, but behind that sentence lives an entire hidden story waiting for the right moment. And now that hidden story is moving closer to the surface. They are beginning to understand that commitment is not only about choosing a future. It is also about recognizing the one person whose presence already changes the way the future feels. That recognition has already begun. Then something even more unexpected began to happen. They stopped speaking about commitment as if it belonged only to distant dreams and started feeling it in present moments they could not control. A quiet realization entered them: some connections do not ask loudly for attention, yet they stay powerful enough to return again and again until they are impossible to overlook. Do not skip, because something huge is waiting for you. There are truths that arrive slowly, and when they finally arrive, they change the meaning of everything that came before. This person has entered that exact space, where old thoughts no longer feel strong enough to explain what is happening now. One evening, while everyone around them was busy with ordinary conversation, they became unusually still. It lasted only a short moment, but inside that silence a powerful thought appeared: commitment only feels meaningful when one person continues to remain in your heart even when nothing is demanding that memory. That thought stayed with them longer than expected, and it unsettled them because it felt too real to ignore. Stay till the end, because what followed made the feeling even deeper. They began comparing all the words they had spoken before with what they truly meant inside, and suddenly they realized they had already revealed more than intended. Their earlier sentence about someone changing the meaning of forever was not random. It came from a truth already forming beneath the surface. That is why their voice had softened. That is why their eyes lowered. That is why even after the conversation ended, they remained emotionally distant for a while, as if still standing inside that same unfinished thought. Do not skip. Something huge is waiting for you, because they are now noticing details they once ignored. A familiar memory connected to you appears without warning. A small moment returns unexpectedly. A feeling they tried to label as temporary now refuses to disappear. And the deeper truth is this: when someone starts thinking seriously about commitment, they also begin noticing who naturally appears in those thoughts without effort. That presence cannot be controlled. It reveals where the heart has already placed value. Recently they admitted quietly that real commitment should feel calm, certain, and deeply meaningful, not rushed, not loud, but undeniable. Those words carried more emotion than before, because now they were speaking as someone already touched by that exact feeling. Stay till the end, because another hidden layer is becoming visible. They are beginning to understand why some silences feel heavier than others. Their silence now carries reflection, hesitation, and a question they have not yet answered aloud: why does one person continue to matter this much? That question has followed them into quiet hours, into ordinary routines, into moments when they expected distraction but found reflection instead. And each time they try to move away from it, the same emotional pull returns. Do not skip, because something huge is waiting for you. Sometimes the strongest commitment begins long before any promise is spoken. It begins when someone notices that their heart already protects a connection they never expected to become so important. That protection is growing now. They are more careful with their words because they know certain truths cannot be spoken lightly once they become clear. But inside, the understanding is becoming stronger. Some people do not simply pass through your life, they leave a mark that changes how you think about staying, choosing, and trusting. And that mark has already been made. The reason this moment feels powerful is because they are no longer resisting what they feel in the same way. The distance between thought and truth is becoming smaller. What once stayed hidden behind careful words is now moving closer to becoming unmistakable. Stay till the end, because the next shift may be the one they can no longer hide. And now the quietest part of this story becomes the strongest, because what they are feeling is no longer staying hidden in small moments only, it is beginning to influence how they see tomorrow. A person can ignore passing emotion, but when thoughts about commitment begin shaping future imagination, that is when everything changes. Do not skip, because something huge is waiting for you. They recently found themselves thinking beyond ordinary feelings, beyond temporary emotion, beyond simple curiosity. For the first time, they did not just think about what commitment means, they thought about what commitment feels like when connected to someone whose presence continues to return with unusual clarity. Stay till the end, because this next truth explains why their heart has become more serious than before. They noticed that even after busy days, after conversations with many people, after distractions and routine, one emotional image still remains untouched by everything else. That image does not fade. It stays. And that staying has begun to mean more than they expected. There was a recent moment when they heard others speak casually about loyalty and future promises, but instead of joining quickly, they became thoughtful again. Their response came later, slower than usual, and when they finally spoke, they said that real commitment begins when one person continues to feel important even when life gives you many reasons to focus elsewhere. That sentence carried silence afterward because everyone felt it came from somewhere personal. Do not skip. Something huge is waiting for you, because what they did not say aloud mattered even more than what they spoke. Behind that calm voice was a truth they were protecting carefully. They have already begun measuring emotional sincerity differently because one connection has quietly raised the standard inside them. Now ordinary attention no longer feels enough. Empty words no longer impress them. They are searching inside themselves for what feels lasting, and every time they search honestly, the same emotional direction appears again. Stay till the end, because the heart reveals itself through repetition, and repetition has already begun. Certain memories connected to you return without invitation. Certain feelings remain even after they try to focus elsewhere. Certain future thoughts pause because something inside them asks deeper questions than before. This is why their silence has changed. This is why their words carry more weight now. This is why commitment suddenly sounds less like theory and more like a quiet confession they are not fully ready to complete. Do not skip, because something huge is waiting for you. Sometimes the strongest revelation is not dramatic on the outside. It happens inside a person when they realize they are no longer imagining commitment as a distant idea, but as something emotionally possible because one presence has become impossible to ignore. And they are standing exactly there now. They have started noticing how deeply peace matters to them, how important sincerity feels, how rare it is when someone remains in thought without effort. These realizations do not come lightly. They arrive only when something meaningful has already taken root. Stay till the end, because another change is very near. The distance between what they feel and what they are willing to express is becoming smaller every day. Even they can sense it now. The careful restraint they once relied on is becoming harder to maintain because truth keeps pressing upward. Soon, even their smallest words may carry what they have been trying to hide. And the deepest part of all is this: commitment moved them because, without fully planning it, they have already connected that word with someone whose presence changed their understanding of what staying truly means.